Welcome to Super Pixels Weekly, a podcast about video game news and anything else revolving around video games and the nerd subculture. I am one of your co-hosts. I'm Donovan.
And I'm William. Our show is available on all major podcast platforms. Don't forget to email in your questions or comments for the show at superpixelsweekly@gmail.com. Also, our individual Twitch and YouTube links are in the description, so hit us up over there as well.
One last thing. Get some sweet deals on some PC games. I say CD keys every week, and again, I date myself, but what I mean by that is Steam has a redeem option, but on Instant Gaming, you get to get some sweet-ass discounts through my link, which is in the description below on Podbean. I have found out, though, on the YouTube and the Spotify links, the hyperlinks don't show up, so I'm going to fix that this week, or try to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super. I looked at us on Spotify and I was like, wow, it just says Donovan's Instagram or like Donovan's Instant Gaming link, and I was like, cool. Like, it's not there. You can't use it. So I'm gonna fix that. But get some sweet deals on some games from that. But also, actually, to backpedal, I have like 80 cents in like Instant Gaming credit from people using that link. So yes, if you're out there and you used it, you're fucking super cool. Awesome. Thank you. Like I said, we don't get a lot of kickback, but it's really cool when people do it. So it means that people are doing it. But biggest thing, right? One of the main points of this podcast is we donate really everything we get, or a lot of what we do, through charity, and that's through Extra Life. The link is in the description if you're listening, but also on Twitch, on my About Me, since we're live on Twitch, there is a banner that you can click to donate. Since it is 2022, if you donated last year, you're a fucking saint. This year it's a new stream year, obviously, so we have to set up a new team and do all that stuff, but we have that. It's right there. So you can donate that, donate money to that, but if you did plan on, like I said, donating money to us, podcast, etc., we kind of do this for fun. So really any money we want to make, go down there and do that. Like, give it to the kids, right? Because kids can't wait. So
Yep.
You ready to fucking... I'm gonna turn the fucking lightsabers on behind me because we got like a Star Wars episode. Really?
Yeah, we're leading with Star Wars today.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, let's jump into it. So this
Go for
week, EA announced that 3 new Star Wars titles are coming from Respawn Studios. All 3 of the games will be overseen by Vince Zampella. And in the doc, I wrote Respawn and also good guy.
Not bad guy from Respawn, good guy.
Not bad guy. Possibly the only good guy at EA. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's not a lot, so there's that.
So let's run through the 3 games that
Yes.
they said there were. Obviously, one is Jedi Fallen Order sequel, which we're all excited for. I mean,
if you're not excited for a fucking I'm gonna turn this lightsaber off because I love these things and I don't want them to die. If you're not excited for a Fallen Order sequel, you're fucking high. Only because when I found out that Fallen Order was a thing, which was right when it came out, it was described by like all the major outlets, which I like to consider us one of the major outlets now. Let's be honest.
Very major.
But it was described as like a Dark Souls with a Star Wars skin, and I was like, oh, dude, fuck yeah, because I like to, be anally reamed by video games, because when I play, that's my thing. And I loved Fallen Order, so when they're like, hey, man, with the way the game ended, which I'm not going to spoil it, but it ended with kind of a cliffhanger, because the Star Wars universe, right, has, and this is going to turn into like a Star Wars theory podcast for like a split second, they kind of ended it on a cliffhanger, right? Like, the Star Wars EU is no longer a thing because Disney took over, and they're like, this is all canon, that stuff's not. But Disney has given the rights to Fallen Order, etc. EA, games being made by, like, about Star Wars games are now canon. So all that this game is to me is just more fucking lore, dude. Like, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Because Cal Kestis is, I don't give a shit, one of my favorite fucking Jedis in the entire, Star Wars universe.
Dude, I love him. Him and Beatty, I love them.
Speaking of, not to ruin the next, have you watched the most recent episode of Boba?
I haven't yet.
Okay,
no.
So I'm not going to ruin it, but there is, like, a BD droid that pops up, and everybody was, like, doing that Leonardo DiCaprio, like whistling, like, click, like, the meme, because of that. So, no, it's a fucking super good episode. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Yeah, that is the best one.
Well,
I'm gonna have to
yeah,
check it
because like we said before in like the pre-show, I think last week we were like, yeah, Boba Fett, blah blah blah. We were talking about it, and then we were like, wait a minute, this isn't a Star Wars podcast.
out.
But no, like it was probably the one of the best things in this series that I've seen, which is good because, like I said, we talked about how we were like, what the fuck is this show? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
We were like, this is fucking dumb. So I'm glad they're ramping up. But no, back to Fallen Order. I want nothing more. I will fucking hungry hippos another Fallen Order game. I don't give a shit. I'll sit here. I'll play it on stream. I'll beat it on stream. I'll do a YouTube thing. I don't give a fuck. Or I'll play it by myself and I'll enjoy it. And all you motherfuckers will be like, "What are you doing, Donnie?" And I'm like, living my fucking life, right? So.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for it. I loved the first game. I couldn't put it down. I can't wait for the next one. I'll be there day one for sure.
On the spot, dude.
Oh yeah. The next game from Respawn it's a new first-person shooter game in the Star Wars universe. Kind of confirms that Battlefront isn't going to return, which isn't too surprising because DICE really, I mean, shit the
bed.
Yeah,
if we're going to be honest.
They just, like, messed up twice.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Battlefront 2 is good now. Like, if you go play that game now, it's sick. Like, I really enjoyed it for a while, like, way after the release. But, I mean, that's not good enough. It needs to release good. But also, the blame is on EA as well. So, but regardless,
I feel like the blame is, like, almost kind of exclusively on EA because I feel like Battlefield. Well, that's another fucking open wound we're not going to talk about. Yeah. Battlefront was kind of pushed because EA was like, we have these licenses, etc. Let's make them, great. And then like they were like, but also you have to have it out like now. And they're like, what? Yeah. So like any type of EA game usually isn't good for like a year and a half, etc. But then like with Battlefront 2, like I recently started replaying Battlefront 2 on PC because it was like on sale for like $4 and I was like, okay, whatever. And like I played it, I was like, wow, it's actually good because we have everything that we were told that we were going to get at the beginning. So that's fun.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's the same story with Battlefield games too. I mean, they go hand in hand, really. But this next game by Respawn, I think is going to blow Battlefront out of the water because if anyone knows how to do FPS, it's Respawn, as we know, with Titanfall and Apex.
I was going to say Titanfall 2, and then fucking Apex.
Yeah. I mean, they've knocked it out of the park 3 times in a row. So, 4 times if you count Jedi Fallen Order. So
I do, actually.
Yeah. They're insane. That's why I call them, one of the best studios out there.
Not DICE, though. How dare you?
No, not DICE. DICE has fallen down the list quite a bit for me. The next game, though, is a Star Wars strategy game developed in collaboration with a newly formed studio called Bit Reactor, and they will lead the development on the title. This is really interesting. I'm super excited for this. I hope it comes to consoles, like being a strategy game,
Yeah, like Halo Wars and shit.
Yeah, like I would love a new Star Wars strategy game. That sounds like something you might be into as well. So, I mean, that'd be sick.
100%, bro. I still have Age of Mythology installed on my computer to this day. So,
yeah. I take Age of Mythology, throw a Star Wars skin on it, dude. I'll buy it for $100. I don't give a fuck.
I say that, but then I also bought Battlefield for like $100 because it was like, this is gonna be the year we got it. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe, but
dang, he really got.
I did got. They fucking got me, dog.
I'm excited for all of this, though. In the doc, also, I trust Respawn and Vince with my life, which is the truth, because they just don't miss. It's the same thing with Insomniac
That's
Studios.
Big words, bro. That's big words.
Like, Insomniac Studios, dude, like, they don't make bad games. Like,
no,
so
that's actually pretty accurate. Yeah, they do not, in fact, miss, as you say.
Yeah.
So.
Them and Respawn are, like, up there for me.
Well, I mean, you want to talk Respawn and how, like, they don't have to really tell anybody anything. Like they just dropped
Yeah.
it. Like with Apex, they just shadow dropped Apex, and like that's played to this day, and that was like 3 years ago. So
It's absolutely huge.
they do their thing, yeah. Like they know what they're doing.
And Vince, he somehow has like gotten the ability to just kind of do anything under EA. Like I don't know how he did it, but he's doing it. So yeah, I trust everything under Vince Zampella because I don't know, he knows the recipe, I guess, for EA games at least.
Which is why, like, why not just hire that man on as like the CEO of EA so we can fix literally every other game? I don't know. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like,
I think maybe one day he will be there. Who knows? I don't know, but someone needs to put him on Battlefield.
yeah, I like fuck, dude. Like,
Yeah. Anything else on this news story?
I mean, I do want to be a little bit reminiscent because I think you and I talked a little bit in the group chat, or we like you shared it, and I was just like, I saw it and I got sad about 1313 and how like that could have like how good of a fucking game that could have been because most recently, I think it was really recently they upscaled and like data mined a lot of stuff and found the they converted it to like 4K footage and like how good of a fucking game a Boba Fett / bounty hunter / like Mandalorian fucking third person RPG could have been. And like I don't know, dude, it just makes me really fucking sad because like I feel like that would have been the fucking game because it had the same style or the same art, same engine, etc., everything that fucking Fallen Order had, because Fallen Order was a good looking game, you know, like it was great. It had the same Star Wars like stylized cinematics and stuff, like the stereotypical Star Wars like wipe where like, you know, like you get whoop across the screen and it's like that's it, like it happened in the game. And like I don't know, I saw that 4K footage and I was like, fuck dude, like why can't we have that? Like I want it now. I'll pay early access fees right now to this day to play a Star Wars game like that. Because that's all I've wanted. Because being like the Star Wars lore behind like bounty hunters and shit has always been one of my like favorite things ever. Like Mandalorians in general, of course. But like just the fact of like everybody like flocks to Star Wars when it comes to Jedis and stuff. And they're like, oh, cool lightsaber. But like, I think it's fucking super cool and super badass to be like the guy without the lightsaber in Star Wars, where you're like, I'm still alive, man. I'm still here, you know?
Yeah.
Especially in like the post-Empire era, like Mandalorian, like Boba Fett or Book of Boba Fett, like era, where it's like, it's just like the fucking wild, wild west, man. And like, these guys are you're either a Jedi that like survived Order 66 or like, you're a guy with two guns and you're like, hey man, I'm going to bring you in cold or I'm going to bring you in warm.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that exact thing about the Wild West. Like with those shows, like it makes it seem like I'm watching a fucking like space cowboy, basically, just fucking running through this desert.
Honestly, like that's one of the, like that genre in itself.
Yeah.
Like space western. So like Cowboy Bebop is my favorite anime, and I will die on that hill. I will defend the Netflix adaptation because yes, it wasn't super good, but it was Cowboy Bebop content that I needed, right? I grew up watching that shit on Toonami, but also like westerns in general being like, regardless of like 1895 in the US or fucking 4067 in space, like that's a man and he's just a man. And he got some guns, and he's gonna fucking make some shit happen. Like, that's my favorite fucking genre ever.
Yeah.
Like, I love fucking space westerns. And, like, the way that The Mandalorian tackled it with Jon Favreau is, like, one of my favorite fucking, like, I think it was 2. Yeah, season 2 was my favorite thing in the entire world because it wasn't all fan service. Because, yes, there was some fan service, and I'm not gonna spoil anything if you haven't seen it, but there is a big character reveal at the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian. But throughout the entire series or that season, like, you know, like it's not predictable, right? That's what I love about it, because that's kind of the thing with westerns. It's like anybody can get shot in the head any day because it's the Wild Wild West. That's why I love Red Dead so much. Like, I don't know.
Red Dead is absolutely like just a heartbreaker all the way through because of that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like the first episode of season 1 of The Mandalorian, when he like walks into
The
basically like
first thing this dude says is like, "Hey man, I'm gonna bring you in warm, or I'm gonna bring you in
yeah
cold." And then he gets into a bar fight, and then he
yeah
cuts a fucking dude in half with a door. I was like, "This fucking show is gonna get
exactly.
Oscars, bro." Like that's it.
It's the most like Western thing
It
ever.
is. He doesn't give a singular fuck because those dudes that he kills slash cuts in half with a door are not who he's there for. He's here for Fishman. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So good. Well,
Yeah.
this has nothing to do with EA.
Not at all. But it does because EA has the power, backpedaling to 1313. They have
Yeah.
the power to make a good game. They've proven it already with, yes, EA was the publisher, and I've played Fallen Order on Origin, but giving some leeway to their devs when it comes to like the guys that made Fallen Order, make a fucking bounty hunter Star Wars game in the same stylized thing, like a Mandalorian game, not even just like a licensed game being like, hey, this is Pedro Pascal voicing the Mandalorian, like just a Mandalorian thing, because Mandalorians aren't a race of Star Wars characters, they're a creed. Anybody could be a Mandalorian, they get picked up, you know what I'm saying? So like make a game like that, because that fits perfectly with the RPG style, RPG fucking formula, where like I'm gonna be an authority and I'm gonna have a fucking dick face, but I got a Mandalorian helmet on. Who cares? You can't see me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it works perfectly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love it.
No,
I don't care.
I wish 1313 would have actually happened. That game had so much potential, and that game was like 2012. Like, yeah,
I remember watching, because this was back in the day before the PS4 came out. It was right when the PS4 came out. We got, I want to say it was an E3 leak, or it was a leak on the internet of like rendered footage. It was the same style that like happened with the Deadpool movie, or Deadpool, where it was CGI, but it was like the opening cutscene or whatever, like of 1313, and it was like unnamed Star Wars game 1313, but it was like the dudes, and it wasn't even like just a Mandalorian, but it was like normal Star Wars era slash like genre people existing. And you remember the scene from, I want to say it was Attack of the Clones episode 2, where like I think Anakin hops out of the taxi that Obi-Wan steals, and they're just like falling through the fucking sky. You know, he's falling through, and he's like dodging cars and shit. Like that was the opening scene of 1313, where it was like this random person being like, oh shit, dodging cars while they're falling and hitting a car, stealing it like a Grand Theft Auto style, and then boogieing off. And like they were like 1313 coming, and they didn't even say Star Wars, but you could tell it was Coruscant. So like,
yeah, no,
it was the 2012, 2013. You know.
Yeah. It was they showed off a trailer at E3. That was a real ass thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it was. I remember that.
Yeah, and then they just canned the game, which sucks. I always
why?
like,
Well, maybe
like,
they'll do the same thing where like all these like uproars nowadays, like people are like, maybe you guys should fix that, or like maybe you were onto something. And if a lot of people get behind the movement of being like, give us what that thing is, like maybe they'll be like, all right, 1313's back in development or some shit. I don't know, because like you can get rid of data all day, but it's still there. Like there's company servers that are backed up. Like that shit's like, they didn't like scrap the game. Like that shit's still somewhere. I swear to God, I promise you. This is me putting my tinfoil hat on in a fucking EA server room somewhere where it's like 1313 marked with the fucking like masking tape, and they're like, do not open. So like maybe all we gotta do is just bitch, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I think when you watch the gameplay of that game, like you can kind of see where Jedi Fallen Order came from. Like I feel like that game kind of came out at 1313 in a way.
Oh, that's what I was saying. 100% with just like how the stylized visuals are and shit. Yeah, absolutely.
And like the sliding down stuff and shit like that. It's like super Jedi Fallen Order. So
that was one of my favorite segments. I forget what planet it was on Fallen Order, but like the internal ice drills where you were like sliding like it was Crash.
I think you slide down a couple things.
Well, yeah, you know, but like one of the big slides in Fallen Order was like inside the planet. I think it was It might have been Zethos, but it was like an ice drilling platform, and you like had to fucking like dodge shits. And I was like, this is so dumb. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, kind of corny, but it's great.
This is refreshing. This is exactly what I needed. It reminds me of the Crash Bandicoot like levels where I have to like run back towards the camera, avoiding a boulder. Like,
hate that.
I guess I'm built different. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, super excited for more Star Wars games. The EA's contract with Star Wars is up next year, but
that's true.
It doesn't matter anymore because what did they like restructured it or something to where other people can develop Star Wars games. So I don't even think it matters anymore. Like Ubisoft is making a Star Wars game.
Yeah. So I think that EA didn't lose the contract, but they opened it up negotiation where it's like anybody can make a Star Wars game now. Like Ubisoft or EA, goddammit, EA doesn't exclusively own the rights to Star Wars games, which is, I think, great because not only
100%.
From like a political standpoint, like it gets rid of the monopoly of like, oh good, EA is gonna pump out a bad Star Wars game this year, but it also adds the other devs' tastes, right? So like Ubisoft kind of knows how to make an open world game when it comes to like I don't know, like Assassin's Creed. So like an Assassin's Creed stylized Star Wars game or like same gameplay mechanics, I'd probably fucking buy that in a heartbeat. Or like maybe they make a Star Wars shooter where it's like not Respawn, but like, you know, the same thing with like other people have the ability to now creatively input on these games. I think that's phenomenal. Like EA exclusively owning the rights to anything is absolute dog shit, and I swear to God, I'll take that to the grave. Like EA, you make good games, but that's extremely subjective. You own good content, I guess is the better way to say that. You don't make good games, you own good ideas, and you make bad games.
Yeah.
Fuck it, you know my address, EA. You have my shit. Come find me. Like I swear to God, dude. I'll fight to the death over that. Like.
Yeah. I think Star Wars being open up to the whole industry is good for everyone involved. Honestly, I didn't like that it was tied to EA. It's just a bad idea, especially
because like you would get this point where you're like EA would be like, hey, Star Wars game unnamed etc. Star Wars games coming out, and you're like, oh fuck, dude. Like you'd be like, it's either a guessing game, or you're like, either the game's gonna be great or it's gonna be fucking dog shit, and that was kind of the case where it was like Battlefront 2 was like good, I think, if you want to call it that, where it was like a time waster. But then Fallen Order was like fucking top tier, peak performance, won Game of the Year awards type shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Yeah. The fact that like banking on a Star Wars game every year being a hit or a miss is not the right answer. Like having to guess, like I don't know, maybe I'll buy it, maybe I won't. And like waiting, like we need to get away from that. Like having Star Wars being open, I think is fantastic because, you know, I guess we can kind of like dip our toes in when it comes to Star Wars content, which is I'm all about, you know.
100%. And with that, we will see what they do with Star Wars. I have a lot of trust in Respawn. I think we can all trust them with these next 3 titles.
Yes, because they're good devs. Go ahead. Yeah, we'll just keep fucking rolling. Why not?
Moving along. Yep. So if you didn't know, Halo Infinite had a really big release.
Get the fuck out of here.
Not too surprising. More than 20 million people have played Halo Infinite, making it the biggest Halo launch in the series. That's fucking awesome. Congrats to 343 Industries. You finally made a good Halo game.
Absolutely.
Who would have known that would have happened?
Yeah, who would have thought? Not me. To the point where you made me buy cosmetics that I was like, that's funny. So
yeah, I was nervous for this game to come.
I was too.
I did not have a lot of faith in 343 after Halo 5, but hey, they turned it around big, and personally I think it's one of the best Halos ever made, and it's not even Bungie, so that says a lot. I
mean, so like, yeah, because Halo 3 I think was the last Halo I played before. I didn't play 4 and 5, which I guess whatever. I have Master Chief Collection. I'll do that on my own time. But with Infinite, because well, I think what enticed me was the fact that they made it free to play. I was like, okay, multiplayer, because that's really what Halo's known for. Is one, it's campaign, but two, it's like everybody wants to go fucking shotgun a dude and then teabag him, you know. Which we talked about, I think, in one of our shorts. Is like, it still infuriates everybody to this day to get teabagged. But like, no, yeah, I think they got it down pat. You know, they have the formula right. Only because, when it comes to, at least Halo Infinite, it was, I want to say, refreshing. Like, you know, like I said, like a couple podcasts ago, I was saying like how Halo Infinite was my game of the year, and I haven't played a little bit recently because I've been kind of busy with school and stuff, and then also just like being a piece of shit and not playing Halo. But it's refreshing, but it has the tinge of nostalgia because they fixed the game where it's fun, but also they kept a lot of the same mechanics and gameplay where everybody's like, you know, anybody can jump in to Infinite and be like, okay, you know, like there might be a couple things that somebody who they're playing with would have to explain, I guess, like, hey, this is how you use, I don't know, like equipment or whatever, but like that's it, you know, like they just kind of go in and you're playing Halo. Oddball's back, capture the flag's back, like all that like tried and true bullshit that everybody like missed from Halo 3 is still there.
Yeah.
So like that's I think that Halo Infinite is going to last for quite a while, only because they did it right, honestly, man. Like it sucks that it took 343 like a while to get like that formula down pat again, because let's be honest, from what I understand, Halo 3, fantastic. Obviously, we talked about last cast how like people were like holding like tap ceremonies and like memorials for the server shutting down, and then 4 came out and they were like, okay, I guess this is fun, you know, it's Halo. And then 5, they were like, what the fuck? You know, so like Infinite being what it is, I think is like honestly exactly what we need right now when it comes to like multiplayer games, honestly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They managed to take like the old, like the good things about old Halos and made them modern, but in a good way. Like, and they made this modern game and captured these old elements that made these old games great. And I don't know how they did it. Like, I play Halo Infinite now and it looks like an amazing game that came out last year, because it did, but it plays in some aspects like Halo 3 did.
Yeah,
And
honestly, yeah, it super does.
Flow. So
yeah, I feel like it's a lot more fluid. Like,
yes.
I will die on this hill that I think having a slide crouch is probably the dumbest thing in a Halo, because it's not as fast as it could be. Maybe I'm used to Call of Duty. I don't know. But other than that, like, I really have no complaints when it comes to Halo Infinite. I will say that now. Like, I've paid money for a free game.
Yeah.
To buy cosmetics, like, because like I'm like, this game's gonna fucking last years.
Yeah. My only complaint right now is I just want more maps. That's really it.
Yeah, and that's not even really a complaint. That's more of like a suggestion. Hey man, can you guys like maybe do this? And then like, I feel like they've got it down a little bit pat when it comes to multiplayer events / whatnot. Because yes, they had a rocky start with that whole Fracture Tenrai thing, because people were like, this is fucking stupid. Like, nobody can do this, etc., etc. And I was one of those people. I was like, I can't get my sweet helmet because you guys, god damn it. But
yeah,
that's what I love about the fact that Bungie's back. Well, 343 is back in charge, because they're like, hey, look, we heard you guys, we understand, we're working. You know, that they're giving you updates. So like, we're doing our best to make it what you want, which I love. So.
Yep, and I think definitely got to give credit to Game Pass for, you know, doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, the campaign is only available through Game Pass unless you pay for the game. So
I am a Game Pass man. That's by the campaign. It's great.
Same. But even without that, making the multiplayer free, it was so
It
smart.
was the smartest fucking move on the planet, dude.
No, they did it right. They did it right. They're still doing it good, and um, I'm actually back into the campaign right now. I mean, I guess I'll talk about that a little later, but yeah.
Oh, like yeah, and the what we've been playing section. I'm gonna hit the Twitch chat up real quick. Wooly was asking, or our boy Dean,
Yeah.
hey, have we heard any news about Fallen Order 2? I actually haven't. I'm gonna throw
No.
that out there. Like that, it was kind of a thing where he said it was like, have you heard any news, or is it still just that like announcement from like 100 fucking years ago where they were like, we're making it. Yep, like that's a thing.
So the news right now for Fallen Order 2 is, I mean, obviously it's confirmed that it's being made, but the speculation is that it's going to be revealed May 4th, and then it's going to come out this year. So
Yeah, that's kind of what
uh,
I don't want to say I thought, but I want like it's kind of in line with just Star Wars in general, where they always usually reveal any type of like major Star Wars stuff on Star Wars Day. So like,
yeah.
I guess we're hoping we got a couple months to wait that we're gonna hear anything, or they're like, "Yep, Fallen Order 2's done. It's shipping May 5th," type stuff.
Well, the rumor right now is coming out this year, probably holiday season.
Yeah, it'll probably be announced
Okay.
May 4th. Like, yeah, it's coming, and then it'll be like November 10th or some shit. Like,
Yeah, or maybe like October, maybe like that.
well, that's another thing. Like, that's kind of wild to like tangent off is that the holiday season's kind of been backing up with a lot of games. Like, I feel like recently, because I swear to God, November was always the video game season, but like a lot of games like last year came out. And I think it was obviously because of COVID and stuff, but like we've kind of backpedaled a little bit where like a lot of games have come out in like mid-October or like end of September, which is, I'm not going to say a bad thing because maybe for them, because of like how like the holiday rush and everything, like everybody's like, oh, I got to get this game for my son, etc., etc. But I kind of like being an adult, and having adult money, being like, oh yeah, I can get that shit for September, and then ask for like socks for Christmas, like.
Yeah. No, I think the holiday season release stuff is kind of changing. Like a lot of stuff is coming out in spring now. I don't really know why, but it is. Like they're
Yeah,
about to
I've noticed that. It's weird.
next month. Like what the hell? February? Like that's crazy.
Fucking Pokemon came out today. Like, yeah, like
Exactly.
Nintendo doesn't give a singular fuck. Like,
Yeah. Right. And Nintendo will drop a big ass game in March. Like it's crazy.
I don't give a hot shit about what you think, honestly.
Let's move on though.
Yes.
Valve's Steam Deck is officially releasing on February 25th.
Woo!
Those who have reserved their Steam Deck will have 72 hours to purchase theirs after they receive their email.
Dude.
First batch will go out on February 28th.
Fuck.
This thing looks fucking dope. I
Dude.
wish I could.
I paid my $10 to like reserve a slot for a Steam
Really?
Deck, and I was like, you know what? February rolls around. If I got the money, cool. But like now that like the Army released their W-2s like January like 9th, so like I can file my taxes immediately. Like I was kind of thinking, I was like, dude, fuck, it'd be so cool. Like I could just throw my Switch in the trash. But like having the ability to play my Steam library on my Steam Deck would be, fuck, it would be so good.
That thing looks incredible. And
Well, that was the thing that I'm kind of like crazy, like, or not crazy about. That is crazy about it is that like people were super skeptical. Like Valve was gonna like fucking like run their pockets, like give me all your shit. Like here's some dog shit, Like Valve has not released. Granted, we'll talk about games. Valve hasn't released a bad product. It's just Valve does not release good products in a timely fashion. So like them being like, we announced it, because they announced that shit like what, like a year and a half ago, I think. I want to say maybe
I'm not sure.
give or take. Yeah, but like they were talking about the Index, or I'm sorry, the Stream Deck, Oh, the Index. That's a fucking VR headset. They were talking about the Stream Deck.
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. Fuck. Talking about the Steam Deck. Steam Dick. Like a long time ago. So when Valve is like, hey, we're doing this, that means that Valve has already been doing shit with this particular product already like a year and a half behind when they said something. So like they've been working on it. They do not release bad products. You know?
Yeah. No, it's I don't know how they honestly made it. I don't get it. Like it's like the fucking
like the tech behind it, or like
yeah. I mean, I'm not a tech guy at all, but it's like a PC Switch. It's like crazy.
It's kind of like a laptop in your hands, really.
Yeah. And if you have a copy reserved and you want to buy it and just give it to me, I'm down with that.
I probably won't do that, but I mean, all right.
I mean, offers on the table, you know.
It's out there.
No, but you should definitely get one. And then when I see you in 10 years, I can use it.
Yeah. You're like, whoa, The Witcher 3 still looks great. Like,
yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about this. But yeah, go get your Steam Deck if you reserved one. February 25th. Get ready. Save up your money.
Honestly.
Yep. Got some follow-up news from last week. The Activision, the most insane acquisition on the planet. So, you know, last week, the biggest question on everyone's mind was, what the hell is going to happen to Call of Duty now that Xbox owns it? We kind of
fucking cares.
A lot of people, apparently.
Yeah, the entire player base, honestly.
So we have a little bit of clarity on it, on some of it at least. So the next 3 Call of Duties will be on PlayStation, according to sources close to development of the games. So this kind of makes sense because they were talking about contracts, or we were talking about contracts like already set beforehand, before the deal happened. So like games that were already deep in development, you know, they probably already have contracts to be on PlayStation at that point. So they're going to honor that.
Yeah, they're not dealing with the paperwork to fucking change that. So
yeah. So reportedly, it includes a Modern Warfare sequel, which will probably be out this year. Apparently a Black Ops game next year, and then apparently a Warzone sequel, Warzone 2. It said Warzone 2. I don't know, an iteration of Warzone that's going to be on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. So it will not be on, you know, PS4 or Xbox One. So
yeah, they're like slowly mitigating, getting rid of like the last gen, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a little bit of information on the next 3 Call of Duties. I would imagine Modern Warfare is probably going to come out this year, Black Ops next year, and Wars.
Yeah, that's what I heard, is that Modern Warfare is this year.
Yeah.
Probably the same thing, holiday season, like November, October.
Yeah. I would assume Warzone's going to be like in the middle there somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be like fucking July 9th, and they'll be like, oi, check it out, Price, we got some new shit. And then like Warzone 2, and they're like, oh, cool, you gotta fucking pay to play Warzone. And everyone's like, yeah. I don't want to do this anymore.
So yeah, people freaking out that they're not going to get Call of Duty this year. You're going to get it in next year. And then after that.
And then after that, the year after that. And then after that, hey man, you're on your fucking own, bro.
Yep. Captain Price is turning his back on you.
Captain Price said, we are leaving.
That was a good one. Very good.
You like that? On your feet, we are leaving.
Oh, shit.
I wish I could grow a beard in the military, because I would grow like a fucking Captain Price fucking like sideburn mustache and like no chin. Like that'd be my thing. All day.
How come Captain Price can grow that and you can't grow?
Because Captain Price is a fucking tier 1 operator, meaning Captain Price does not exist anywhere on paper. And an old fucking dipshit Staff Sergeant Sable has to wear a gas mask. So that's actually the biggest thing. And here's the history lesson. So the reason that the army is not allowed to wear beards, at least what they tell us, or like have beards, is because if we're ever in a sea burn environment, like a chemical, biological, nuclear, radiological, chemical environment, our gas masks won't seal against our face because all they are is like gas masks, and they have like a rubber thing that goes against your face, right? And if you have beards, the hairs stop like the plastic or the rubber from like sealing or adhering against your face to stop shit. Which we're like, okay, sir, whatever. But like when you look up other like military, like every other military in the world can have beards. So it's like we're like, who are you lying to, man? Like what the fuck?
I mean, to be fair, it makes sense to me, but
yeah, it makes sense, sure. Like when they say that, but then when you start digging into it, you're like, hey, wait a fucking minute, like that's not real.
I would imagine that's like probably the same thing with like firefighters or something. Cause
yeah, but like you see firefighters with like fucking gnarly beards and shit, and I'm like, all right, man, like whatever. Like that's my thing. Like I'm not a combat arms soldier by any means. I'm not gonna go out. I'm not kicking down doors and shit like that. But like, if I was, like, and like I have a really like high, like same as like Vietnam, where like the death rate in Vietnam was like, or the death time in Vietnam. If you're coming off a helicopter, like, yep, first day in country of Vietnam during the Vietnam War, it'd be like a minute. Like 60 seconds. They're like, hey man, either you live or you die. Like, let me grow a fucking beard, bro. Like, let me die in peace. Let me have my shit.
At least let me be happy. Before
yeah, let me have my thing before you like bitch at me. Like that's my thing with it.
But with firefighters, I feel like they just have dope mustaches.
Yeah, they do, and that's like the military's thing. Is like you can't grow a beard, but you can grow a fucking gnarly mustache. But with the army, like I'm not allowed to grow. I'm not allowed to grow a mustache technically that goes past my lips, like right here, right? So like I can realistically only have, by the army regulations, a Hitler stash, which I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like as a white man, I'm not doing that. That's not a good look, not a good vibe.
No, definitely not. It's never a good look.
But like when you get into like a certain situation, like me being like kind of like away from like the big army as a recruiter, I grew a mustache for November for like no shave, but it was definitely not by the book, but like everybody was like, nobody gave a shit. They're like, whatever, man, like, it's a thing, right? So like that was kind of cool, but like it'd be so good to not wake up super early just to shave, like if I could just be like, yeah, like right now I got some 5 o'clock shadow from today, like if I could wake up tomorrow and be like, yep, going to work, like that'd be great. That's all I care about. That'd be fine.
You shave every day?
Yeah, every fucking day of my life for the last 10 years. Oh. I hate it. I hate it so much.
That's
unless I'm on leave, and then I'm like, okay. But then, like, at the end of leave, I'm like, God damn it, because I gotta, like, fucking trim and shit. Like, it's bad.
I haven't shaved my face clean in probably, like, 5 years.
You would probably look like a fucking 12-year-old boy if I saw you without a beard. I'd be like, who the fuck is that? Like,
I don't want to find out. I trimmed it since the last episode, though. I trimmed it up a little bit.
I see that. I do see that. It looks good. Looking good.
Thank you.
Looking like a fucking upstanding young man.
Except I still got, like, Ellen DeGeneres hair right now. But
I like that. You're ready to fucking hand out some money. You get a car.
Money,
you get a car.
Money I don't have.
Yeah. I think we talked about it, which is a dumb thing to say, but, like, when we roll into the next story, I kind of pray every day, and I'm not a super religious man, but I do pray every day that I wake up and just run into Mr. Beast.
He's in North Carolina, I think, right?
He is, but like he might be up there, like whatever. What's the day? Like he's like, oh, what's up, man? I'm like, oh, thank God, finally.
Dude, I would I feel like I would try to act like I don't know him. So.
Oh shit, are you Mr. Beast? Is that what your name is? Like, yeah. On the spot.
Yeah.
Hey man, you want to compete in my Squid Games? Absolutely. Why not? I got nothing going on.
He's gonna come up to you, dude. Put your hand on this car. Last one to take it off wins $7 million.
I am so fucking ready to just stand in the same spot. I'll fucking shit my pants. I'll piss my pants. I don't give a fuck. I will fucking keep my hand on this car, dude. Like, you have no idea.
They did one where it was like they all got into a Tesla and it was like last to leave Tesla.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Like, I would never leave. Like,
I'd literally, it's my car, you know, like I'd shit my pants. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I'm gonna win this car. I'll just pay to clean it up. Like what do you mean? Either
exactly.
pay like 30 grand for a Tesla or pay like $100 for like cleaning. Like that's fine. I'm on board with that. Like you're not gonna scare me, man. I've slept in holes in the ground. Like I'll shit my pants right fucking now, dude.
Man, dude, Mr. Beast doesn't know how dedicated
He
you
has
are.
no fucking idea how ready I am to just run into him one day and him be like, "Hey man, here's the fucking Ford Ranger. You want this? You gotta take your fucking don't take your hand off." I'm like, "All right, man. I'm only left-handed. I'm an amputee today." Like,
That's funny.
he has no idea. And then that's another thing is like if I had like if this podcast like kicks off, which you know whatever, cool. But like if it goes to that point, like I kind of get excited when I think of like the prospect, or I daydream one day where I'm like, hey man, if we had the money of Mr. Beast, like that's all I would do is I'd be like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm going to work. Yeah, fucking quit your job. I'll give you 35K right now. Like, I wish I had money just to give to people. Like, I don't know if that's like socialist, communist of me, but I swear to God, like I wish I had the money just to hand out to random people. You know,
Yeah.
like
No, that's like me and Crystal will go to a restaurant and like
I would tip like thousands of dollars. Like,
yeah, like we'll leave a big tip for someone that we think really deserves it, and it just like makes us feel so good. It's like, man, they're gonna go back to that table and be like, holy shit! Like even though it's not like
a band, bro.
all-
Like I go get a steak and then like fucking like boom. They're like, oh yeah, your bill's like $30. I'm like, all right. I go to an Applebee's. I don't know, like some fucking chick like Sharon's waiting me, and like she's like, hey man, here's your bill. I pay it. It's like $30, and I leave her a fucking band on the table, like 10 grand. She's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, hey, fucking you fucking busted your ass. You know, it's great.
I'm pretty sure hasn't Mr. Beast tipped in gold bars before?
Yeah, like that was like that's. I used to do this thing when I'd be at work, like not now as a recruiter, but like. In El Paso, when like we didn't have anything going on, I like sit in the office and just like watch Mr. Beast videos, and this motherfucker would like go to like these most expensive like places where like I'm gonna get gold foil ice cream for 9K or whatever, and like leave the waiter like a fucking like 10 grand tip, and I'm like, dude, I fucking wish, like I wish I could make this person's day, you know, like. Cause that's the first thing I do is help all of my family out. But then like after everybody's like living good, I'd be like, "What's up?" I gotta walk down the fucking street. I'd walk down Chocolate Avenue of Hershey, Pennsylvania, and be like, "What's up, man?" And like the first person to like say, hey, what's going on?" Like the first person to be like nice to me, I'd be like, "Here you go, bro, $1,000, whatever."
the first Yinzer to come.
Yeah, first be like, "Oh, what are Yins doing, dude?" I'd be like, "Hey, man, $1,000."
Also, shout out to that clip from last week when
Oh
you said
my Western PA accent came out. It came out right there when I say accent. Oh, right there.
yeah, that shit is heavy.
It's because I'm back in Pennsylvania. I have to enunciate now. I got to be on my toes, dude. Like whenever I'm talking now, I have to like make sure I'm not saying some wild shit. You know.
Everything sounds like a question.
What are you guys doing? Hey, dude, you want to go You want to go fishing? Oh, dude, fishing sounds great. Like, I hate it. Like, I talked to my, I almost did it right there. I talked to my dad like last week, and he was like I called him. He was like, "Hey, bud, we were thinking about coming up and visiting Yins," and I was like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" It's like, "Oh yeah, we were gonna get a hotel, you know, we were gonna stay down there in Hershey Ave, we were gonna come up and visit Yins," and I was like, "What the fuck language are you speaking?"
That's so funny, dude.
Well, it's funny because, like from an army standpoint, like my recruiting battalion's in Harrisburg, in like the capital of PA, but like so our like lieutenant colonel came down to visit our like recruiting station like last week, and we were talking or whatever, and he was like, "Oh yeah, talking about football," and I was like, "Look, sir, I don't really watch football." He was like, "Oh, like everybody, if you don't watch football in the army, you're like a fucking piece of shit, apparently." But I was like, "No, I'm more of a hockey guy." He was like, "Oh, hockey, eh?" And I was like, "Actually, sir, I'm kind of a Yinzer." And he was like, "What's that mean?" And I was like, "Oh, let me fucking tell you, dude." And like I told him, and he was like, so wait, you have an accent? I was like, oh yeah, I got a fucking accent I could turn on and off. And he's like, okay, go ahead. And I was like, I don't think you want this, man. Like, I don't think you want to hear it. He's like, no, go ahead, Sergeant Sable. I was like, all right, sir. Check it out. And I was like, give me a scenario. He was like, okay, I want to go fishing. I was like, oh, Yinz guys want to get down there to the creek, catch some fucking fish there, then we come up on there to Paul's and get some fucking hoagies, dude. And he was like, what the fuck did you say? And I was like, yep, that's why I don't use it. I turn it off.
Dude, Yinzers are built different.
Dude, fucking built different, bro. Like,
that shit is funny.
so Wooly actually was like, imagine surprising somebody with like Russian. I did that. So one of the people that came into my office was well, of Russian descent, and like he was like super ready to join the army, you know, all that stuff. But he was from Ukraine, so his fucking birth certificate was in Russian, like deliberately in Russian. And I was like, got it, boom, no problem. So, like, I'm not on orders. I don't get paid extra to speak Russian. But I was like, I looked at it. I was like, let me see it, man. I was like, okay, cool. Born in this province, etc. I started reading it, and they were like, how do you know that? I was like, I took a stupid fucking college class. Like, it's fine. Like, I got it. And they're like, why don't you, like, apply to, like, be a translator? I was like, oh, no, I don't fucking speak Russian. I speak, like, proper Russian, you know, like, привет, как дела? Меня зовут Donovan, как вас зовут? Like, you know, I can speak Russian in the sense, like, I guess, get me around and also be perceived as a tourist, but not somebody who, like, fits in. So, like, I was like, no, that's not my thing. But, I don't know, it'd be funny.
Man, that's crazy how much you've learned Russian. Of course you have. I expect nothing less from you.
Chat was my buddy Dustin. So CID is the Criminal Investigative Division of the Army. So they're like Army special agents. And he was like, hello, Sergeant Sable. This is CID. We'd like to talk to you about you and your car's extended warranty, and also Russian.
What?
Anyway, let's move on. Yeah.
God, we have gotten so off of track.
I fucking love it.
Okay. Fuck. Where were we?
Right at the end of the COD, so we're into this PS Plus thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, you want to talk about how Japan got one more game?
What's up? What?
Oh, you didn't see that? I'll Google it real quick. I'm gonna double check. But like, go ahead and talk. I'm gonna look up some stuff.
Okay. Well, so free PlayStation Plus games for February were announced, and it kind of makes me mad. So UFC 4 is free on PlayStation 4, and then the longest title on earth for a video game, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep: A Wonderland's One-Shot Adventure, is on PS4. And then Planet Coaster, a PS5 only game. And if you know me, you know I love Planet Coaster. That's the main reason I bought a PC.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yes, I love that game so much. And I would make parks to the point where my PC could not keep up with them anymore and I couldn't play them anymore.
That's why you got to get me down there, dog. I got you.
Yeah. But the reason this makes me mad is because they're locking Planet Coaster to PS5 only when it has a free upgrade from PS4.
What?
Yeah, if you buy the PS4 version, there's a free upgrade to PS5. And what makes me mad about this is there's like no consistency in these PlayStation Plus games ever since the PS5 has came out. Like some months there'll be like 3 PS4 games, or like one game will be PS4, PS5, and then the other 2 is PS4. Or then they'll do like this, 2 PS4, 1 PS5, or just fucking PS4. Like it's like what are we doing here? Like why don't you just give the PS5 games, either make them only PS5 every fucking month because that makes sense, or make them cross-gen, because some of them are cross-gen and then some aren't. And I'm just like, why are y'all picking and choosing?
So we're talking about the PS Plus like January, as in like December's games coming into January, right?
So these are February's games.
Okay, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, so the first Tuesday of every month you get free PlayStation
That's
Plus
what it
games.
was.
Same thing
Okay.
on Xbox,
Well,
but
so
Xbox.
so my point was last month's, but we'll talk about this and then I'll talk about how like this happened. But okay, go ahead.
Wait, what were you saying? You kind of like lagged out.
I turned my mic off. My
Oh,
bad. So like no. So what I was saying is like there was this big thing going around about how like Japan users were getting different / more PS Plus games for PS Plus. But that was also in December, so it was rotating back, and like it's back to normal now, from what I understand. But I wanted to talk about how like they got like a different set of games for December in Japan than we did, obviously for Sony users in like the U.S. But you hit these up. I have to pee, so I'm gonna do that. Keep talking. I got you.
well, so when I saw this, I love Planet Coaster, and I would love that game on my PS4. So I was obviously mad, and I was just thinking about like, man, like how come some months we get PS4, PS5, and then some months we get only PS5? It's just I don't understand why. I don't know if they're like saving money doing that, which they're fucking PlayStation. I don't think they need to save money. But I texted Crystal that the day this was announced, and I was like, look at this bullshit, like blah blah blah. I explained it all to her, and she was like, what the hell? She was mad too. Like, why are they doing that? And then I get on I have an app to view all the gaming articles and stuff, and there was an article. Someone wrote an article about this issue that I was complaining about to Crystal. It was a Push Square article. I forgot his name. His or her name is Sammy something. The person that wrote it, I don't remember who it was. I'm sorry, but they were literally
Okay, no problem.
they were saying the exact same thing that I was saying. And I was like, at least someone else notices this bullshit. Like, it made me so mad. I was like, come on, Sony. I am mad because I'm not getting Planet Coaster on my PS4 because I don't own a PS5, but also I'm mad because it's just very inconsistent. And that's all I have to say. It's just annoying.
Well, it kind of rolls into the inconsistency because in December, there was a list announced. Did you get Judgment for PS4 in December?
I think so.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm fucking dumb.
I'm pretty
I don't know. I saw some stuff about how like Japan got different titles for PS Plus, so I'm gonna
I mean,
re-engage that. I might be wrong. I might be not wrong, but yep, it's a thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case because it's different.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Countries. I don't fucking know how that works. As long as they're not. Yeah, Japan gets Planet Coaster PS4 and PS5, and then United States only PS5. Then I'd be mad.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
which I don't know why. I want the Planet Coaster. I didn't buy Planet Coaster on console. I would have bought it day one, but it's not the same as PC at all. So
no, it did. Oh my god.
it's
So
like
I've played it like 2 times on PC, and it wasn't even on mine, so I don't even own it. But like, it's so much better on PC. Like, I'm trying to sway you so hard to making the switch to like PC to game, and then like Sony for exclusives, only because like Microsoft owns everything. So like,
no, yeah, I played the hell out of Planet Coaster on my PC. The reason I got the PC was for Planet Coaster and for City Skylines. Thankfully, the problem is my PC, is old. It was older, so it would kind of start losing frames the more I got into both those games. City Skylines too. Like the more.
well, I mean, like the more assets you load into a situation, like obviously any PC's gonna be like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
But thankfully, the City Skyline console edition is actually really good. So That's good. Planet Coaster though, it's way scaled back. The amount of items you can put on a map is way scaled back on console. So
That's kind of shitty.
yeah, it's just not worth it.
I mean, like, I feel like it might be scaled back up to like the original on like next gen, only because like it's like, oh, we got the assets, and you're like, well, why can't you like
So
degrade them? You know, like.
yeah, it's better on PS5, but it still isn't up to par with like the PC version, which I don't understand because it's a PS5. But
Yeah,
what?
like what? Like, hold on.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I just want to go on that quick little rant. That's it for the news this week, though.
Oh yeah, like it hasn't been a lot, but it has, I think.
It's not as crazy of a news week as last week.
Oh yeah, last week was like, oh, like, oh, Jesus Christ, like we were like, stop the presses, like.
Yeah, last week was fucking insane. Last week was so crazy. It was so hard to clip stuff out of that episode because like it was just so serious and there was so much information that we were talking about. It was like
Yeah, like
hard.
there wasn't like any like funny clips or whatever because like we were so serious the entire time. Like,
Yeah, and like I have to cut it down to like a 1 minute version and it's hard to like scale what we were saying into 1 minute, you know. Yeah, you want to roll into what we've been playing and stuff? Are you alive?
my microphone was off. I'm dumb. Yeah. So, how you like Extraction?
Yeah, so picked up Extraction, came out last week, right? Rainbow Six Extraction.
Yes.
I'm actually pretty impressed with it. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do. The solo, of course, I'm playing solo because I don't have friends, as I always say.
Hey yo.
It's super stealthy, super spooky. Honestly, it's like I'm crouch walking across the whole map. Like that's what it's like.
Yes, sir.
But basically the way the game's set up is like you get you pick a map location, whatever, you get 3 different objectives. So you go in, you scout with the drone, do your objective, and then you can do like side challenges that you're trying to do as well.
Okay, yeah.
And then you can either extract completely out of the mission, or you can go into the other exit and go to the next objective. Then you go into that.
Okay, so it's like a compounding. Like you'd be like, hey, I'm gonna extract here, but then roll into another like scenario, I guess. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to the next scenario. It gets a little harder, I think. More enemies and different objective stuff. The objectives are like randomized, but like a good example of this is like, so when you have an operator and you go in and you die, your operator's stuck on that map. So you have to get a new operator, take that guy in.
to come like rescue, like
Yeah, you have to come in and rescue that operator. So it'll be like you go to that location and it's like they give you 3 objectives and then say the second one is rescue the operator. So you have to do the first one and advance through
okay.
the second one and then get your operator.
I gotcha.
It's really cool. It's really fun. I bet it'd be really fun with a full 3-man squad. You should try it out, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and my buddy was like, hey, man, you played Extraction? And I was like, no, I got Game Pass. It's on there. He was like, oh, you should totally play it because I need someone to play with because it's so much more fun when you have, like, more people than by yourself.
Yeah. No, I bet. Give it a try. I think you would like it. Obviously, it's Rainbow Six. It's Siege, so it feels great. And
yeah, like, it's going to be good, like, mechanics and stuff. So, like,
yeah. Yeah, it's fun. And what I love about it is, like, a lot of the operators, they have their default gun is like a shotgun. So
I mean, that makes sense. Like,
It sucks though, because it's like you can't be stealthy with that, but you get a suppressed pistol, so you're walking around like it's James Bond, like like 007, just headshotting
The
with.
golden eye, like.
It's super golden eye. I love it. Um, yeah, I've been playing that, and then I I went back to Halo Infinite. I was like, okay, I told myself, you are playing too many fucking games right now. You
Yes.
need to reel yourself back in and finish what you started and finish the fight literally and
Ha
then go from
ha.
there.
Funny stuff.
So yeah, I went back into Halo Infinite, went back into the campaign, and I'm hooked right back in. Like campaign's so good. Definitely gonna. I'm sticking with this game until I beat it, and then I'll go from there. I don't know what I'm gonna play after this because I fucking started Assassin's Creed. So
Which one? Oh God.
Unity.
Oh Jesus. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I have Unity there. Still want to play some 2042 for some reason.
I do too. Like, don't feel bad. Like, I'm there. Like, I want to get my money. I want to ring it out. Like,
Yeah, I'm still like, man, I kind of want to jump into 2042. I might do that after this podcast, actually.
you want to do it together?
Maybe. I don't know.
Can we?
I don't know. What time is it?
I mean, I don't care about the time. I'm talking about like, are we able to? Like,
I don't know. Either, I don't know, maybe sometime this weekend, though.
how long is the Skype call?
Huh?
How long has the Skype call been?
1 hour, 15 minutes.
Boom, we're on it.
Mm-hmm.
We could, yeah, okay. We could do that. That's fun.
But, yeah. Play Halo Infinite. Love it. I need to finish the campaign. I can't believe I haven't finished it. It's kind of disgraceful, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, you piece of shit. How dare you?
Yeah.
Like, I'm with you though.
What kind of Halo fan am I, you know? Yeah, that's all I've really been playing, to be honest.
You know, I feel it. So before the podcast, so this week's kind of been like just like realistic FPS for me. So right before the podcast, I was replaying Tarkov, so I was doing a little bit of stuff. The wipe was like 3 weeks ago, so I wasn't actually like super geared to like be like, yeah, I got it. So we were doing some like bullshit runs. But I mean, like Tarkov is Tarkov. There's not really a lot to talk about. We did like a scav run, and I died, so like that was that.
Yeah.
But so I have been playing recently. Speaking of Rainbow Six, it's called
Also-
Ready. What?
We can't play 2042 together.
I was waiting for you to like comment on that.
You
My bad.
motherfucker. I was like, oh, yeah, that would sound fun to squad up. We haven't.
Oh yeah, that sounds
20
great.
I was like, we haven't squatted up on 2042 yet. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, wait. You fucking
Fuck.
piece of shit.
I'm sorry. I wish we could.
Me too. Okay, what were you saying?
So like I recently got this game called Ready or Not.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think it's about? I feel like you know what it's about, but
Kind of. It looks like extreme military sim shit. I don't really know too much. Like hostages, I don't fucking know.
yeah. So like Ready or Not is a hyper realistic, like SWAT based gameplay where like you get scenarios. You're like a member of like the LAPD's SWAT force. You can like pick like non-lethal, lethal stuff like that. And you can pick the scenario you're rolling into. So like, if you're aggressive, I guess you're gonna do a lot of like bomb defusal / like hostage things where like you gotta like get in, get out type stuff. But like the game is like so hyper realistic when it comes to like the hitbox. Like if you get hit once, like you're done. Like it's kind of like Rainbow Six terrorist on Villa in Vegas on the on like the extreme difficulty, where like you get tapped once, like you're down, like that's it.
So
But
it's kind of like a intense version of Siege, basically.
well, yeah, realistically, yeah, it's like a yeah, like a hyper realistic siege, because like you're a cop. Realistically, honestly, you're a cop from the SWAT team of like LA, so you're rolling through, you're doing a thing. Like we've kind of been memeing it, like before the podcast, before I started playing Tarkov, my buddy, we were playing Ready or Not, and yeah, like all we were kind of doing was memeing. Like we were just like going through and like pepper spraying everybody, like type shit, just to like see how the game works, because it's still in early access, so that's kind of there. But I don't know, it was fun because like when we sang like like snapped out of it and like took it seriously, it was like refreshing, I guess, as a first person shooter to roll and be like, all right, man, I'm gonna take left, you take right, you go center, like like plan out everything. So, I mean, I've only played like a good hour of it, the game, so I'm not gonna be like, yeah, it's the fucking greatest game alive, Yeah. So, but from what I played, based on the early access, it's a super fun time when you have like a good squad of like 2 or 3 or 4 to like actually like fill roles, because the game kind of goes into like roles when it comes to like SWAT officers. So like you got to do with a shield, do with a shotgun, like breach doors. You got a guy with like the camera. So like we had like a good, I guess, momentum rolling with the 3 of us. It was like a guy with a shield, guy with like the snake cam kind of from like Siege, or from Vegas, and then like the guy who was like, all right, I'm blowing shit up, like,
Yeah.
So, but it was fun because like it takes like law enforcement like accountability. So like everybody has a body cam, so you can see what every player's doing. So like if they're like, you're like one of those like hyper sim realistic guys who are like taking it really seriously, you'd be like, hey, player 2, what the fuck are you doing? He's like blowing hostages away or whatever the fuck. But also the fact that you can wear body cams and stuff like that, you can like really plan out everything. Because you can be like, hey man, I need number 2 to breach. I need this guy. It's kind of like door kickers, but like 3D, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see that.
But no, I had a really good time, honestly. I've only played, like I said, like an hour, like 74 minutes according to Steam, and 15 minutes was in the menu. So like, it was a good time. I played about an hour. I'm probably gonna keep playing it again because it was like really good. But as far as the week, that's about it. I played a little bit of FTL, which was on stream. Subnautica did come out with a multiplayer mod on PC, so we did play a little bit of that, and that was actually really fun.
Yeah, I saw you playing that on stream.
Yeah, it was really fun to like do that multiplayer, because Subnautica is a terrifying game already off the rip.
Yeah.
Because you like what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's about it. I mean, I told you last week how I played Shadow Tactics. I kind of like picked that up a little bit, but I have not been an eventful man, honestly.
So, well, bring this back around to the beginning of the podcast. Are you getting on Arceus or Arceus?
Yeah, beginning like if you're watching the stream, or if you have been watching the stream, we had like a pre-show type thing before we started the whole like welcome to Super Pickles Weekly. Yes, I am planning on buying Arceus only because, from what I've seen, like gameplay-wise, I feel like it's like the Pokemon game we've all been asking for.
That's literally what people have been saying. Reviews amazing. Like, they're saying like this is the best Pokemon game in 20 years.
Well, so like because of the fact that it's a like complete 3D world environment, obviously, because like that's why like Sword and Shield picked up as much as it did, because they were like, oh shit, we're doing this. But why I think Arceus is gonna pick off, or like pop off, is you yourself as a Pokemon trainer can straight up get bodied by a Pokemon. Like they will attack you, not the you're not Pokemon battling Like they're coming like, "What's up, bitch?" Like fucking like come for you, which I think is like great because it adds like a I want to say survival, I guess adventure aspect to the game, but also like it makes sense as far as like Pokemon goes because like if I'm a wild ass Pokemon and I see like you, a person, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm coming for that ass. But then you throw a Pokeball and like there's like a Nidorino and I'm like, yo, fuck that rat, bro. I'm gonna come beat your ass. You know, like the fact that you get bodied by Pokemon is like the greatest thing ever. Like to me, like that's the only reason I would buy Arceus. And then like the story obviously, but like the fact that like I have to be like, oh shit, like dodge Pokemon, like that's great to me. Like I will pick it up probably like tonight or tomorrow, honestly, because it came out today. So
Yeah. Nah, it looks fun to the point where I'm like, man, I kind of want to play it. I don't play Pokemon ever. The last Pokemon
I said like you haven't been a Pokemon guy for like a hot minute.
I've never been a Pokemon guy, really. The only one I really got into playing was that mobile game that came out not that long ago. Not Go.
I was gonna say like Pokemon Go. Like
No, well, of course, everyone on the planet got into Pokemon Go, but no, the one where you have
yeah, it was the closest we've been to world peace.
The team of 3 Pokemon.
Pokemon. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that game was fun as fuck.
And it was like Final Fantasy, but it was like Pokemon. Like you take turns or whatever. Yeah.
You have your 3 Pokemon, and then you like go into the map, and then you're doing shit. It's fun. That game was fun. But that was the only Pokemon I really got into. But this one looks interesting. So.
Well, yeah, because it's like it's a new spin because it's not like, hey, I'm Professor fucking Tree Name. I'm gonna fucking here's a Pokemon, pick it. All right, live your life.
Personally, for me, I mean, one way to easily turn me off to a game is tell me it's turn based. I don't like turn based shit like ever. So I just can't. I can't get into turn based. I don't know why, except for like South Park games. but that's
like the Fractured Butthole, and then like
I've never played that one, but like Stick of Truth,
dude,
or like
Fractured Butthole was so good.
They have a Phone Destroyer, the mobile game. That game's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a turn-based guy, so
I don't remember if RJ's here, but like I wish that RJ was here so he could be like, "Hey man, you mean this Pokemon game?" And I'm like, "Fuck, you're right."
Yeah, it's some free mobile game. It's free on the Switch, free on your phone. Fun game. Forgot what it's called.
Legends, I'm gonna say.
That's what the new game is.
No, I'm gonna ask right now.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, but
it does to me.
All right, can't end the podcast till we get to the bottom of this.
Not at all.
What are we at? 126 on the call.
We're good. Oh, Yinzers wouldn't get down there to the fish hole. Like,
we really bullshitted a lot.
We're good. Yeah, like we did, to be honest.
Episode 30, by the way.
Huh?
This is episode 30.
Fuck, dude, that's how old I'm turning next year.
Oh, damn, really?
Oh, I'm fucking old. Yeah, dude, I'm turning 29 on my birthday this year, and then like,
yeah,
it's all downhill from there, man.
Damn, I turned 25 in like 2 weeks. Crazy. You find that game yet?
I'm working on it.
Out here feeling dead air. Man, a lot of snow coming down here in
actually, yeah. So I kind of wanted to actually ask you about that to fill some time. Is like, how are you guys dealing with snow in Georgia? Because
it didn't even say it was snowing today. I
like, oh shit! Like,
it just came out of nowhere, dude. Like I went to Little Caesars earlier, got some pizza, came home. Me and Crystal ate some pizza, watched the H3 podcast. You know, we're chilling. And then I go down to the car to get something, and it's just fucking snowing. I'm like, what? Like, since when? And like, it was sticking to the ground. It's pretty crazy right now. It's everywhere. I don't know. It just came out of nowhere. It's weird.
My buddy was like,
in
I
Georgia.
was like, hey man, what's that game we were playing, like the Pokemon game that we were talking about playing as a group? And he was like, Arceus. I was like, no, I fucking know about Arceus. Like the other one.
Wait, you're to find out you're asking your friend?
Yeah, I was like, I can't
Like,
remember.
I thought you were looking it up.
No. I tried and it was like, I was like, hey, what's the Pokemon? Like, it was like Arceus. I was like, no, I don't want that. Like,
What is it?
oh my god. I know. I don't know what it is. It's on the Switch.
It's on the Switch. It's on the App Store. Do you have your phone? Nice.
I know. I mean, I do, but like,
Um,
Unite, Pokemon Unite.
Yes, that's it. That's a fun game. That's like the only Pokemon I really got into. But yeah. That's it. Show's over. Go home.
Oh yeah, that was it.
You don't have to go home.
I'm like, can you hear me typing? I'm responding to my buddy in Discord.
Oh, I know. I know.
you
You're
can
so
see it all.
engaged with that right now.
I am, dude. Like honestly.
Oh man. So, how about them Packers?
Yeah, it's football.
Welcome to the football podcast.
Hi, welcome to the NFL. Fuck, what are they? NFC or AFC? I don't even know. I don't care. I mean, we can end it early. We can do whatever, but like,
I mean, it's not. So
it's in the realm of.
we're at what 1:30 right now. We probably started like 7 minutes into this call.
Yeah, we're probably where we need to be, but
Yeah, normal time.
I feel like we're probably where like that's probably solid.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we covered the whole doc. We did the whole fucking shebang.
There wasn't a lot of like news that was really
I
noteworthy.
mean, like, we're gonna feel the ripples of the Microsoft acquisition for podcasts and podcasts and podcasts. You know.
Absolutely. That's gonna be an ongoing thing for a long time. The one thing I did not bring to the doc was NFT stuff because I refuse.
All right. So actually, I kind of, when you were talking about, I was like, we need to talk about this on the cast because just to say like, hey, I don't give a fuck about NFTs.
Yeah. I don't care about NFTs. I think they're stupid and I don't want to talk about them.
Yes.
So.
But I will talk about them for a second. I guess in the terms of news. So Ubisoft was like, yeah, yo, people who play our games fucking don't get NFTs. But then when everybody was like, hey, what do you mean? Like, he couldn't give an answer about NFTs. So, like, that's fun. Love Ubisoft, but goddamn. But, like, as far as, like, crypto and all that stuff, NFTs being, like, where they are now, I guess, in our society, don't spend your money on fake money. Like, that's not a thing. Like, please God.
No, definitely don't. I don't know. I feel like NFTs are just like a scam. I don't fucking.
Yo, I swear to God, they're like legitimately a pyramid scheme. Like,
That's what people say they're just pyramid schemes, and I'm like, Ubisoft pushing this fucking pyramid scheme. Like,
well, so like actually speaking of RJ, who like brought it up to me about Pokemon Unite, he was bringing up this whole thing, this big, I want to say development on Reddit where like this guy was like NFTs are like the fucking future, etc., etc. Like just like talking about NFTs being like, hey, we're doing this, and this one guy was like, all right, man, let me show you how fucked up this this shit is, where he like found this dude on the internet, found his NFT, and then like changed the code so that the guy who found him owned the NFT. And this dude was like bitching on Twitter. He was like, that's my thing. He was like, fucking prove it, basically.
Yeah.
So like that's where everybody's like, NFTs are fucking app. Like, do not spend money on a JPEG. I will make, if you're gonna spend money on a JPEG, talk to me. I'll make you a JPEG. It's not gonna be good, but hey man, Who knows? You know,
Yeah.
like
I know.
anybody can screenshot that shit and be like, I got it. Like, and they're like, oh, well, you haven't had it validated. Like, are you gonna fucking read all the pixels? Like, suck my dick, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here. NFTs are fucking dumb.
So stupid. I don't understand it.
Especially the monkeys. Like, what you like? Oh, I'm a fucking social fucking pariah because I own a JPEG of a monkey like smoking a cigarette. Like, suck my fucking dick. I don't care. Cool, great.
Dude, they're stupid.
You got me heated. I fucking hate NFTs so much.
The internet is dumb. It's full of dumb people.
As we say, you know, on our podcast that is readily accessible on the internet. Hey, what's up?
Did I say I wasn't dumb? No.
True, I guess. Yeah,
but
you're right.
I will not buy an NFT, that's for sure.
Yeah. You see that shit about Twitter being like, hey, man, we got NFT profiles. I was like, that's the fucking stupidest thing I have ever heard in my life.
I didn't see that, and I'm sad that you told me that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Yeah, Twitter was like offering NFT like profile pictures where like it'd be like a hexagon around your name or like around your picture instead of like the Twitter circle. And I was like, who fucking cares? It's Twitter. I'm there to look at memes, man. Like,
oh my
what in the fuck is wrong with you people?
Social media is so
You're paying
stupid.
thousands of dollars for a JPEG. You're so stupid. Like I swear to God, I cannot, like, I don't give a fuck what degree you have when it comes to the blockchain, which I think already off the rip is made up, but like, you know, we'll go down that hole. Like, I don't care what fucking expertise you think you have in this digital currency. It is not real. It's not real. Same with like Bitcoin. Like, I own myself 0.0025 or 0.00025 of Bitcoin. I own like $80 worth of Bitcoin. And I was like, this is fucking stupid. I just wasted $80. This is so dumb. It's not a thing. Like, yeah. It's not real. And then at the end of the day, that shit, you know, yeah, like, oh, fuck yeah, Bitcoin went up like 7,000%. Like, I'm like, I still do not physically own that money. That's not a thing. I do not have that in my hands. I put it in my bank account. I'm going to get taxed to fuck. Like, why? What is wrong with you people? Like, I don't know. I just, crypto and the NFTs, like, I'll go down a hole and I don't want to do that. So, like.
And that is Donovan's crypto corner for this week.
Yeah, every week, bro. Donnie's crypto corner. Like, I don't know. I can't do it, dude. I cannot physically stomach talking about fake money. Like, I just, yeah. I don't know. I cannot. And I feel like that's where we're gonna end the podcast, because I physically and emotionally refuse to talk about fake money. Like it's not real.
I didn't mean to set you off here.
No, you're good, but like, fuck, man. Like,
I don't know enough about it to talk about it, to be honest. Because I don't give a fuck about it, honestly.
Well, yeah, that's my thing. Is like, I don't care, but when someone's like, "Hey, man," etc., 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 crypto, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, stop. Like. What are you buying?
Yeah. I don't know, man. People just
like,
trying to...
If you, like, I hate capitalism, and that's kind of, like, well-known, you know, old fucking commie Donnie. But, like, if you buy stocks, I'll be like, all right, cool. Like, we'll talk a little bit. But if, like, I bought a fucking monkey picture, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, what do you mean? Like...
Oh, man.
Like, dude, yeah, we should probably stop, because I'm gonna I'll talk for 6 hours about how fucking stupid fake money is. Like,
yeah, no. Well, let's end it there.
That's gonna be a good fucking soundbite for the old the old podcast. You have listened to a episode of Super Pixel Weekly. I am Donovan. I'm one of your co-hosts.
And I am William. Go check out our links and stuff.
Wow.
YouTube, go subscribe to the Super Pixels Weekly YouTube, because we are posting video versions of this podcast. Forgot to say that in the beginning.
Yes, we did.
Fuck.
I mean, if you're like here and you're loyal, like you're gonna follow, you're like, oh shit, YouTube. Yes, the podcast is available in a YouTube format. We're doing that, and we have ironed out the audio visual issues. So there's that.
But yeah, if visual podcast is more of your thing, which I know some people prefer that.
I'm kind of like that. I feel that.
Yeah, that's on YouTube now, as well as other shorts and stuff. Go sub, like, and do comments and things like that. And also email us at superpixelsweekly@gmail.com.
We didn't say that either. Yep. I feel like we stopped saying that because like nobody uses email. Like it's kind of like writing a letter now. Like
I said in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
it's in my little script.
I see it, but like like nobody uses email unless they're like talking to the IRS. Like
no one wants to talk to us.
That's really actually what the issue is, and that's fine. Like I accept it.
If you want to email us something and have us read it on the show and talk about it on the show, email us at superpixelsweekly@gmail.com. And that's it.
Yes. Yeah. All of our links are in the description. I did say at the beginning, I'm going to work to fix that because Podbean, if you're like a Podbean listener and, you know, like you're one of the OGs, double chest, peace sign. If you're on Twitch, you got that ref, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to work to fix the links because all of the Spotify and like iTunes stuff is apparently not showing the hyperlink for like what?
I've been on the Spotify app and those links have worked on my phone. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe it's desktop. I don't know. I'm gonna try to fuck around with it. Maybe we'll just let it ride this podcast.
Look on the Spotify mobile app on your phone. It'll probably work.
It probably will. Okay, so if you're listening to Spotify on your desktop, maybe it doesn't work. I'm gonna throw that out there. But no, anytime I've used it on a desktop because I've had the app up, it'll be like, yeah, Donavin's Twitch, and I'm like, okay, like
yeah, it might just be a desktop thing then.
Yeah, I feel like desktops. So yeah, if you listen to us on your Spotify, on your phone, you know, it definitely does. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, don't use Spotify on your desktop. Let's throw that out there. I'm gonna be a guy. If you're listening from there, cool, but open it up on your phone and find the links. But anyway, all the links for everything we're talking about will be in the description. Extra Life, the charity we donate to, Instant Gaming, get some deals. All of our social media, like my Twitch that we're live on, William's YouTube, which has been fucking popping off apparently. William's about to be too big for the podcast. Our individual podcast has been in the description now. I've worked that in, like the YouTube for that. So yeah, I mean, like, you're here already. You know, it's been like about an hour, and so you know you got some time. Check us out. You know, it really helps, honestly. Like I'm not gonna talk algorithms and shit like that, but like if you just like click on some shit, like believe it or not, that kind of helps. So
it's been about an hour, is what you said.
About an hour. About an hour. You go down there to the fishing hole. About an hour. I hate my life. I want to kill myself. I hate my life. So no, go ahead.
No, you're good.
There it was. Go ahead and fucking keep the podcast going.
Nothing else to add to the podcast. Dude, rate us on Spotify.
Yes, Spotify. All the audio.
Rate us 5 stars or 1 star. Only
that's
either.
it. That's the cutoff. Yeah. Like either 5 or 1. Like that's it. Yeah. Like if you do like 4, I'm gonna fucking find you and I'm gonna fucking egg your house. Like I will go out of my way to burn your house down. That was a terroristic threat. So anyway, yeah. 1 or 5. That's the limit. We like to keep our perfect record that we have. And then if you do rate someone, I'm gonna throw it out there, I will find you either way. So, you know. But yeah, this has been an episode of Super Pixels Weekly. We will catch you guys next week.
Yep. Later.
Oh boy, I cannot wait to find this on the Twitch VOD.
That was a wacky one.
It was good. It was good stuff. My back.
I'm a seltzer guy now.
Are you? I really do like LaCroix and bubbly and stuff.
It's bubbly's really fucking good.